Well, new here at 4, two upstate sheriffs are now responding to accusations of racism from a North Carolina university. The president of the school saying deputies targeted a bus with students on board. Fox 9's Anna Arender join us now with those comments from the university's president and the response from the sheriffs, including Sheriff Chuck Wright. Anna.
Well, Justin, this stop happened during Operation Rolling Thunder. It's a joint mission between Spartanburg and Cherokee counties with a mission to crack down on drug trafficking. At the time, the charter bus was taking students from Shaw University, a historically black college in Raleigh, North Carolina, over to a conference down in Atlanta. But on October 8th, Shaw University President Dr. Paulette Dillard issued a, quote, official statement regarding the traffic stop, claiming that the students were racially targeted. Now, this is the statement right here. It says in part, quote, in a word, I am outraged. This is behavior of targeting black students is unacceptable and will not be ignored nor tolerated. Had the students been white, I doubt this detention and search would have occurred. It's 2022. However, this scene is reminiscent of the 1950s and 1960s. Now, this right here that you're seeing is body cam footage released today by the Spartanburg County Sheriff's Office. In the video, you can see the bus on the side of the road. The deputies are with the Cherokee County Sheriff's Department. They say that they pulled over the bus because it was swerving and they couldn't see through the windows because they were tinted. One deputy asked to see the driver's license for permission to search the bus as well. And during this search, a K9 officer barks as if he has found something. You can see them searching the bus right there. At the end of the video, though, it turns out that the K9 officer found nothing. The officers did issue a warning to the driver at the end of the video. Students are never seen getting off the bus, and Sheriff Chuck Wright says this was a routine traffic stop.
I don't have a problem when someone points out a problem with our department. I really don't. But to just go off and say things like this with no evidence, I'm very, very, very disappointed that a lady of her education level would make such an uneducated statement to the press to try to get some people stirred up over this.
Now, we spoke with the two sheriff's deputies that pulled over the bus driver. You can hear them and their statements coming up at 5. We also reached out to the South Carolina ACLU for their reaction, and we'll have that statement for you as well. Justin, back to you.